Hello and welcome. This is Daily 9 on the Awkward Geek. Today is December 8th, 2011. Yep. Uh, so I know it's been a while since I've actually sort of done this, but I hope that you'll forgive me and that you will continue following me. Obviously, I've stopped the vlogs for now, the actual sort of extended discussions that I've been having. They take a lot longer to make, they're a lot of work, and I just wasn't able to keep up with them, at least at this moment right now. But I did sort of want to just be able to have something out there where I can just talk about things in general, just talk about my life, talk about reactions to specific current events, all that sort of stuff. So I do want to try to see if I can keep these dailies going. I don't know if I'll be able to keep up on that, but they're significantly easier to make. So here we go. To start things off, I have a new job. I'm working at the Judge Rotenberg Center in Canton, otherwise known as the JRC. It's sort of a controversial treatment facility for individuals with behavioral problems, some of whom are developmentally challenged, and some of them are emotionally disturbed. And the reason for that is it uses what it calls a GED, which is a localized skin shock treatment for some of the more problematic individuals there, which is described by some as torture. Uh, it's not particularly a happy feeling. You know, I don't get a giddy feeling when I think about the skin shocks. But from everything that I've learned, everything that's been described, and I'm going to eventually just try it out on myself as well. We get the opportunity to do that. I don't feel like this is something where we're going in there and just pressing buttons and torturing students. This is a treatment that has been developed based on behavioral concepts and is proven to work in most cases to really stop some very aversive behaviors from happening. A lot of the behaviors that they're stopping are very self-destructive behaviors. We have individuals there who really hurt themselves a lot of the times because they don't actually understand how bad it is, that what they're doing to themselves. So they'll bite themselves. They will force themselves to throw up. They will bang their head against the walls. They will slap themselves repeatedly. They'll pick and pull at themselves. It's really quite sad. And so this can be used in order to help teach them that no, that's wrong, that's not good for you. Now, it's not only used on those sorts of individuals, it's also used on very aggressive individuals, individuals that will hurt others. It is used even for individuals who simply are inappropriate. If there is parental consent, and if the court approves it, and if the Human Rights Committee approves it, then it is used. But there are strict procedures and everything, and I probably can't get into that because it's a lot of this is sort of belonging to them, and I don't want to infringe on that too much. But I just wanted to give sort of a little overview of why it's controversial, because that is something that might be brought up by some people watching. I don't know how many people actually know about it, but I just wanted to bring up that, yeah, it is controversial. And if I ever feel conflicted working there, then I'll probably leave. But I haven't run into any problems yet. I still feel like it's actually a great center and it's doing great things for individuals with special needs, and I want to continue working there. I'm almost finished with the second week of training, and then I have one more week of training I have to go through. So I've covered a ton of stuff so far in regards to policy and procedures and all that stuff. This last week is some makeup quizzes and stuff for a lot of individuals, and we'll be going over safety care, which will teach us how to do restraints and how to protect ourselves and how to protect others that they're watching over when individuals do get aggressive or they do get self-abusive. I am nervous a little bit because it's really easy to get fired there, which is something that's interesting. Because a lot of people think that, oh, you could work there and you could be really horrible and then you'd be torturing and abusing these kids. That's not true. If you're not doing your job, even if you make just a mistake, an honest mistake, you're not a bad person. You just make an honest mistake and you hit the wrong button, say for a GED for a student, you can get fired. If you aren't properly watching your students, you can get fired. You can get fired so easily at this job. So it's a little nerve-wracking because even though I'm a competent individual and I feel like I can do this and I am compassionate and caring, there's still so many ways that I could get fired if I just screw up even a little bit. So it's definitely a little nerve-wracking, but I'm also excited. I'm excited because it's a job in my field. It's not user experience design, which is what I wanted to do, but it's in the field of psych, and it's something I can see myself doing because I can help people a little bit more directly in this fashion. And if I really like the job, there's plenty of ways for me to advance in my career there, and I can even go and get a further degree and advance even more. So if I really like it, I can continue on. And if not, then it's just a stepping stone. It gives me a little bit of experience in my field, even if it's not directly where I want it, and I can start looking into other careers that do fit me. But I do think I'm going to like it. I do think I'm going to enjoy it, and so maybe this is something that I can make a career out of. We'll see. And the increased pay will be nice as well. I'm finally making enough pay that I can probably look at moving out and finally living on my own soon, and that's huge for me. I really want to be able to do that. I also have a new car. It's actually my first car. It's a 2003 Grand Prix, and it's white, and it's awesome, and I've already damaged it. Now, to give you some reference here, when I first bought the car, it was in pretty good condition, no dents, nothing like that. There was some wear on the paint, but nothing major. It was really nice. It looked really nice, and it still looks really nice. But literally the day after I bought it, I went down to stay with my grandfather so I could attend MLG Providence. And because he lives in North Attleboro, and it was an unfamiliar driveway, and I was trying to pull out the next morning so he could get out, and I made a sharp turn to back out, which in most circumstances would have worked fine. You know, the car would have passed over the top of the lawn, but that's fine because it wasn't tires or anything like that. I wasn't going to leave tire marks or anything. It just the car would have passed over the top of the lawn. Unfortunately, it wasn't lawn there. It was a rock, because just the way it was designed, there's a rock there, and so the front left bumper of my car hit the rock. It tore it off, so I had to sort of pull the car off to the side and get that back into place, and I eventually have sort of tied it and secured it with the help of my father, and that will probably have to be fixed at some point, but not right now. At least it's secured. But so then I'm pulled off there, and then I was going to go drive around really quickly after I had sort of popped it back into place to see if it was going to fall off, see whether or not I could drive. And because the driveway was so narrow, I decided not to pull back into the driveway from where I pulled off of it. I was just going to back straight out from there. And unfortunately, there's a tree next to my car, so it dented the right front door, and the mirror on that side as well. So there's a nice big dent there, some brown streaks, and the mirror is cracked. So it was pretty fun. I damaged it the second day, but after that I haven't actually had any incidents. I've been driving the car and it works great. The service engine soon light came on today, which is unfortunate. But there is, I guess, a federal law which mandates that when you buy a used car that the dealership has to offer at least a 30-day warranty or X amount of miles, just to ensure that you don't end up buying a lemon. You know, a car that you buy, and then almost as soon as you buy it, it just craps out on you. So because it fell under that 30-day period, I'm going to have to work it out with them, but I will bring the car up there, and they will have a mechanic look at it. I might have to pay up to about $100 for the repair, but they will cover the rest, which is great. Hopefully it's nothing major, but if it is something major, then great. I'll get like a whole new engine or something, and I'll pay $100. It's not a big deal. So I'm quite alright with that. It does suck that I might have to be without the car for a little bit, because I do like having a vehicle, but I'll be able to manage. I managed years without a car, so my only major concern right now is getting back and forth to work. It's a little bit too far for me to walk. As far as the blog itself, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I'm not sure where I'm going to go with it yet. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I do have a couple of videos I'd like to post. I just posted one recently about sort of just a short life story summary of, and just sort of talks about losing my mother and then going through middle school and then even actually high school. With just from middle school, no friends, and high school, very few friends, and just sort of dealing with all that. It was really rough, and it shaped me. But I was shaped quite a bit by the positive influences from the people around me as well, and that I didn't realize were there at first. But once I realized they were there, I was able to cling on to that and make myself a better person because of it. And it only barely scratches the surface of my life story, but it's still, I like the video. It's very moving. It's very touching. I found some good royalty-free music to use, and it just sets it off quite nicely. So definitely take a look at that. And I've got a few more videos I'd like to make. And from there, I think I will just sort of, at least for now, just sort of make videos when I feel up to it and have a topic I want to talk about. But I'll try to do the dailies as often as I can, just to keep you guys informed. I probably won't do them on weekends unless I miss them during the weekdays or whatever, but I'll try to do them during the weekdays as often as I can. Sorry? So yeah, you're gonna notice that, by the way, that because the dailies are easier, I'm not editing them or anything like that. So you're gonna see, me burping, um, and all of that stuff. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be there. I'm sorry, but it just makes it a lot easier for me. Most of them probably won't be this long. This one's going over about 10 minutes. Most of them will be much shorter. But this is the first one in a while, so I had a lot to get out, a lot to share, and I hope that I will continue to have a lot to share. But I don't want to bore you for 10 minutes every day. I don't think anyone's gonna want to watch that. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you for watching.